Hi everybody. We are going to talk today about measures of time, and I think that the reason that they stick this little unit in with our fractions unit is simply because of the fact that we have just regrouped with fractions, which is a little bit wonky compared to when we regroup with tens and 100s and 1000s. So we're going to go through a couple of examples together and some real life situations. So in a Tour de France, there was a winning time of 83 hours, 41 minutes, and 12 seconds. Let's just say that Mrs. McKinley decided to compete, and my time was 6 minutes and 51 seconds greater than that. So I need to add these two times together. Notice that I'm setting them up in kinds. Here's my seconds column, my minutes column, and my hours column. So I'm simply going to add straight down, and I'm going to use my red pen so you can see my... So I will have 62 seconds, and then I will have 47 minutes, and then 83 hours. Now, if you look really closely here, what we see is that the 62 seconds can be regrouped. When you have a 60, you can take one out of it and it will regroup to 2 seconds. And then the 47 will have a +1, so it'll be 48 minutes. And the 83 hours stays the same. This is one that it's very important to show your work on because you need all of these groups regrouped. This would be incorrect on a quiz or a test. Okay, so anytime you see a 60 here or a 60 in your minutes column, it would regroup to an hour. This one was only 48 minutes, so it would take 12 more of them to get up to that 60. So we don't need to do that in this question. This question gets a little trickier though, because we're going to subtract. Let's say we were going on a vacation, and where we were first going to go, it would take 11 hours and 17 minutes to go. And the second destination we were thinking about took 8 hours and 42 minutes. What's the difference between those? What is that? How much time does that save you if you did this trip instead of this trip? Well, we've got to find the difference. But I have a 17 minus 42, and I can't do that. So I do need to regroup one. So I'm going to bring this down to a 10. That's the easy part. But think about what we're regrouping here. We need to add a 60 minutes because there's 60 minutes in 1 hour. So it's 60 plus 17, which equals 77. So now you are taking 77 minus a 42. So you end up with 2 hours and 35 minutes is your difference. Can you hack that on the plane? I don't know. You tell me. So let's do a tougher addition example and a tougher subtraction example. All right, I have examples 3 and 4 right here for you to try. And then would you please write this down, pause the video, and then we'll go through them together. Okay, so if you look at number 3, I showed my work and what I ended up with in my regrouping, where I added 1 over here, and I subtracted 60 over here. So I ended up with 8 hours, 14 minutes, 41 seconds. And in number 4, I ended up with 2 hours, 30 minutes, and 42 seconds. Again, I did my regrouping and subtraction over here. On quizzes and tests, you do need these labels or it will be incorrect. The next piece that I want to show you is elapsed time. And I am not the greatest in the world at drawing pictures, as you know. So I'm going to hike my book up as an example to show you what you do. Feel free to take the notes that you want or write down the steps that you want as well. So we are going to look at elapsed time and how to do that. So we want to find the difference between 7:15 a.m. and 12 p.m. So what they have you do is count up, and I like you can even use your fingers. 7:15, 8. Let's get as close as we can to 12. So 7:15, 8:15, 9:15, 10:15, 11:15. So that's 4 hours, and I would actually do this on my paper. I would keep track of, okay, I went up 4 hours. So I'm at 11:15, but I need to get to noon, and then I need to add a 45 minutes. So if you count up, you are going to find the difference between them, 4 hours and 45 minutes. So if you were going to find the difference between 7:15, and now we're going all the way up to 4:22, you keep your 4 hours and 45 minutes to noon, and then from noon to 4:22, you would say, okay, I know it's 4 hours and 22 minutes. You would add up 4 hours and 45 minutes plus 4 hours and 22 minutes to give you 8 hours and 67 minutes. Obviously, this can be regrouped. And you would regroup that, so it would be 9 hours and 7 minutes total. So if you wanted to try any of these, I know I flashed up really quickly. Here's number 5, the difference between 6 a.m. to 11 a.m. Whoa. 11:45 a.m. to 2:15 p.m. Can write that down. And then number 3 is try 7:30 a.m. to 11:45 a.m., 8:50 p.m. to 3:30 a.m. Pause the video, try those, and see if you got them right. All right, I am going to put the answers up here. If you had any trouble with these, please come and see me. It should be a relatively easy go of it. Have a great lesson today, and we will need to be ready for the quiz on the next day. Thanks.